I got one for you. Let me tell you the first and only time I met 3 generals in one day, and in one exercise, I'll make it 4 because I had to brief 1 general. Tune in.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. There you go.
So check it out. I met 3 generals in one day? 2 1-star generals and a 2-star. So it's not a very exciting story, but just the fact that I met that many generals in one day. I actually got a coin from one of them. So I used to be in a unit called the 75th Training Division. The training division actually trained soldiers as they were mobilizing before they went in the theater or before they deployed. Pretty much was an evaluation for the command team and the commanders to know what their deficiencies are and were to work on before they deployed. So the unit itself, or my unit, we were the evaluators. Amongst the evaluators, you had the communication side. You had the communication side. That's what I did. We were the S6 or the G6 because we were division level. Primarily, you have the OCTs who were the observer training cadre. OTC, yeah. OTC. They're the ones who evaluate the command and the teams and the unit as they go on these mock missions. At the end, wrap up a whole report and say, this is what you need to report, need to improve on. So, this is me as a warrant. Now, I was with this unit way before I became a warrant. So I become a warrant officer. I switch units. So to do a favor to my old unit, I jumped on the exercise. They needed a little bit more help, a little bit more boots on ground. In this event, I was the only warrant from our team, pretty much the only warrant on this site or this location. My senior warrant, he was in another location. How this all worked out was that we had 3 different locations. They had to talk to each other to communicate as far as the exercise. So the commanders from one team might talk to another commander at another team in another state, and like literally these were in different states. I was at Fort Knox, Kentucky. My other chief, who was my mentor, shout out to Chief Calderon, was in, was it Virginia Beach? Yeah, lucky for him. And we had one other location. Actually, our home station, Fort Dix. We had an issue when I got on ground that there was no communication coming from the satellite link, pretty much your traffic, your highway, for your traffic to travel down. So it's pretty much your phone line for the most part, your internet connection. That wasn't working. So the exercise director was catching a lot of static because these exercises have a lot of visibility up to this 2-star command. And if you don't realize how big a 2-star is, he has the ear of the president type deal. 2-star is very big. So it had 2-star visibility who was going to be coming on ground to observe the exercise. The exercise director
probably just be attached to a command team. You by yourself, and you have a small staff to make sure that whole, unit, that battalion, that company is up on radio systems, like secret radio systems that are going to get mounted into these trucks, antenna systems, computer systems, the functions of communication in every aspect. And that means being able to talk to the guys in the battlefield, being able to talk to the guys in the command, tents. So all of that is signal.
The only one on ground. This is where it really showed me that people do respect and take heed to what warrant officers say. I had to brief that 1-star through the colonel and then beyond the colonel. I had to brief that 1-star to explain to him why things weren't working, if we can get things to work, and how we can get things to work, and that it's outside of my scope. That was the first general I met. Intimidating, yes, but as long as you know what you're talking about and know what you're doing, you're good. But when I mean all eyes were on me, all eyes were on me. The other three that I met, the 2 1-stars, no, yeah, 2 1-stars. So the 1 1-star, I'm out in the field, all same day, out in the field. So the first one, she's a signal general. So signal ear, as they call it. Really smart general, brigadier general. I was told that the generals will probably come around and ask questions because they all have been briefed on the status of what's going on. I'm the only warrant officer out there floating around trying to figure this stuff out. Now, I'll get into my duties and everything that happened in another video. This is to show me how important my role played, but we're going to talk about just meeting these generals. So, I'm up here working on the server stack, and all of a sudden, I hear all this commotion in the front, and I look over, everybody's at attention, and here she comes walking in. I mean, I didn't even budge. I kept tinkering around under the hood, doing what I got to do to get this thing working because I'm under a lot of pressure. I got time, I got other restraints. Like, I wasn't worried about the formalities. As rude as that seems, it's the nature of the beast. She approached me and said, "Hey, Chief." I literally barely even looked up. I was like, "Hey, ma'am." She said, "What's going on, Chief?" I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to get this, get these routes to go across because this router isn't talking to this router. I mean, on the server side, I mean, everything's working, but just communication left and right." And she understood what I was saying, but the whole time, I'm still typing on my keyboard and doing my work. And she literally said to me, she's like, "You know what, Chief? I'm not even going to bother you because I see you're really busy, but we heard what's going on. If you need anything, let me know." Gave me her business card, and then she turned around and walked off. I was like, "Thank you, ma'am." I was like, wow. But I was so engaged because this is such a high priority, and she knew it too, that I really didn't have time for the reindeer game. The second time, same location, because within an hour, as I had to walk down the trail 20 minutes to go to the other tent and walk back down a couple times, same location, same kind of work, another 1-star comes in. He's not a signal guy, so he's just pretty much asking me how the exercise is going, what do I think? And I literally told him, I was like, "Sir, with all due respect, I actually really have to work on this because we're still not getting communications." He literally said, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." He's like, "You know what, Chief? Do what you got to do. Take care." Turned around and left. Second one. Actually, there was one more when he gave me the coin. But the biggest one, which was weird, I'll never forget this, which was weird. So I go into another location. I go into a tent. Have to sign in the tent because I just can't go in and out. Sign into the tent because we're out in the field. There's literally a 2-star who's, to give you a good frame of reference, table's right here. The kid who looks super nervous is right here. I come this way. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" "Hey, how you doing, Chief?" Behind me is the general, and they're having a little powwow. I seen him, but I didn't pay attention at first until I turned around. It's like the general, a couple full-bird colonels. He has an entourage. But what was really weird about that, now granted, I had this E5 with me, this one buck sergeant. Had him with me. He made a comment to me later on. As I'm filling out my little visitor's badge, I look back and I see the general, and I turn and I say, "Sir?" And he looks at me with this, I can't even describe the look. It was almost a look of disgust or anger, but just weird. He said, "Chief?" And so as I turned my head and I'm looking at him over my shoulder, I kind of turned my body more. I said, "Sir?" And then he actually said, "Chief?" And then we kind of froze at a stalemate. 2-star general. of course, in my head, I'm like, well, this guy's gonna snatch my rank off my chest. And so as there was a stalemate, I didn't even turn. I didn't even really stop doing what I was doing. I turned back around, finished out my paperwork, and I went inside. And you could feel the tension right there because even his entourage got quiet and the kid behind the desk got quiet. The sergeant that was with me, when we got inside, he was like, Chief. He's like, what the just happened? I was like, I have no clue. I was like, I don't even know that man. I was like, I don't even work for him. And it was like mind-boggling. But nothing ever came of that. But it was really weird. At the end of the exercise, so it was 4 generals. I met one more general. He's the one who gave me a coin for being able to pull off this little impossible task that he wanted. It was a nothing. To me, it was like, this is garbage, but he was so happy. I'll take it. But I only bring the story up to let you know, or to bring up the fact that, I mean, as a warrant, like, I've rubbed shoulders with a lot of high brass, especially at that one exercise. And it's just a totally different world being a warrant. On the regular O grade side, the O grades are aspiring to be a general. That's part of their pipeline. And they're not technical, so they're not going to be in the field, so they might get approached differently. But this was my experience. I don't think I have another one like it. It was pretty much a pleasurable experience because I can actually put it in my checkbook as a W-2. Now as a W-3, I don't know what's going to happen. Just made W-3. See that plug? But that's all I have for that one. I just want to put that out there, like, give you guys a scenario, or one of my experiences as a warrant, like one of my memorable experiences. But I'm going to try to see what I can dig up in my old mental repertoire of things that have happened, as a warrant. Now, as an E6, I've had a whole lot of experiences back in the day. As a warrant, it's totally different. I mean, I have about 8 years being a warrant, but the rest of the time was being an enlisted. So, nevertheless, I'll see what else I can dig up, something that might be interesting that might satisfy you guys. But until then, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Have a good day. Peace. And stay dangerous.